Thank you for joining us for Lesson 3 in the 3 Angels for Kids 12-part drawing series. Today we will be drawing a quill and an ink pot. This coordinates with our video, Speeding Around the Globe. So please watch that video and then you'll be drawing this to remind you about gospel to the whole world. How God knew in His infinite wisdom and foresight that there would be a lot more ways to spread His message than having to use a feather pen and a quill at the end of time. Enjoy. Today, we will be starting toward the right side of our paper, and we will be starting with kind of a sideways ellipse, kind of a flattened out circle towards the right side of the paper. You ready? We're making the top of our ink pot now. So do you have your circle? And then right around the ellipse, again, we model the same arc of the first one. We're making the top of our ink pot. And we're being reminded that down through the ages, people did not have the same technology we do to communicate, but God could see to the future. All right, now we're making kind of the neck of the ink bottle, so a little curved line on each side. Giving you a little time to catch up, then a little rounded part of the bottle towards the bottom. Okay, you see your basic ink bottle and then flat across the bottom. Remember that people couldn't always send emails and text messages. They had to use a quill and ink. So again, we have a curved line for the liquid and another curved line up above it. And I'm making a reminder to myself here to leave some glares, to leave a little light. You know, again, for a 3D look, you want to leave some areas where light kind of glints. So I just made those little ellipses to remind myself. Now another line down here again. And I'm going to fill in some of my ink, and that'll give you a little time to catch up. I'm leaving some white spots, again, for a little bit of a glint of light. Okay, I hope you're able to catch up while I'm filling in here, and you can always stop the video. Getting my ink all ready. Okay, so back in the day, pen and ink. I'm going to put a little more dark area in here again. Filling that in. All right. And now we're going to get ready to just put a little, again, I'm trying to give a little 3D look maybe, so a few lines on the side, a suggestion of shading here, darkening this in. And you should be ready to do your feather. And just kind of a curved line coming from the top of the paper down into the bottle. Another curved line beside it because I'm making that spine. I don't know if you call it the spine of the feather. And then just kind of the curvy line in and out to make your feather. Okay, in and out on this one side, kind of curvy. And you have the little wisps at the bottom. And then again at the top. You know, I'm very fortunate because I live right across from a bird sanctuary, so it is not hard for me to find a feather. It's much easier for me to find a feather in Florida than it is to find a rock. Okay, and then I'm again putting some lines here for the suggestion of the feathery feather, I guess. Okay, and yours might not be exactly like this, however you'd like to make your feather. And then we'll be able to put our color in, and we need to think about what kind of a bird do we think this might be. I think I'm going to make mine kind of like maybe a blue jay, maybe some different grays and blues and blacks, but think about it. But now I'm just making some shading again, darkening the opposite sides of what I'm calling the spine of the feather to give it a little 3D look. Whenever you darken opposite sides, you can kind of make it pop a little bit. And again, darkening some of the little ins and out areas here where the feather goes in and out to try to give a nice little 3D look. How are you doing? You catching up with me here? All right, I'm gonna start my shading, and that can give you a little time to catch up as well. So I'm putting in some gray. Like I said, I was kind of thinking maybe blue jay feather. I didn't look up what kind of birds they had back in the day when they were using feather and ink. But as I color this in, I just want to remind you again that before the first angel's message actually comes, we have what I call the prelude to the three angels' messages. And the prelude says that this gospel shall be preached to the whole world, and then the end shall come. And God knew that technology would certainly change so that this gospel could be preached to the whole world. You imagine if the only way it could happen is with pen and ink, but he knew what would happen, didn't he? I hope you enjoyed drawing with us today, and I hope you remember about the gospel going to the whole world, how God had a plan for that.